Hello, so this video will explain the basic concepts of the game, like the UI, some of the things that we have in the tutorial, but it will just show you what you need to know to play the game, and also a few tips to increase your power and just progress in the game at a smooth and steady pace. Also, it will explain some of the stuff that is almost incomprehensible to the normal human mind because of the way the game is designed. So let's just begin. Over here, this is the most important NPC in the game almost, just because of how important he will be and how many people will forget about this. So, speak with him and you'll see here submit oddities. Oddities are all of the butterflies, all of the crickets, all of the locusts, all of the weird stuff you collect along your way, and this is actually going to be a lot of upgrades, passive upgrades to your character. Also, vitality is different from HP, so keep that in mind. A lot of other stuff. So as you can see, I just played the game for a few hours, well, let's just say 10 to 20, 10 to 15 hours. I just collected a lot of stuff that improved my character quite a bit. Oh, I need enough oddities. I guess it depends on the way you play the game. But yeah, remember to come back to this NPC, let's say every 3 or 4 hours, so he can make you stronger. Because that will be a huge help in your game. Especially if you're playing on expert difficulty. On expert difficulty you'll just cry and you say this cannot be true. This is harder than most Souls-like games because you'll not have any healing, you'll not have anything in some boss fights, and some of the normal enemies as well will have some interesting abilities. Plus the death traps and some other stuff. Now, the other thing you should really do in the beginning of the game is to come over here to this place. It's an arena where you can fight some enemies and they'll actually, you know, it's martial arts. After you defeat an enemy, they'll become your friend. So these two over here are easy to defeat, an archer and a spearman or a spearwoman. So I recommend you just at least do the archer. So after you defeat him, you can summon him as a helper in some of the boss fights. If you, for example, see a fallen signpost and you'll also see a bigger note over here, you'll say something like summon a companion or something like that. And then you can select one of these 4 companions to join you in combat. So you can play the game completely solo. Oh, shut up already about that. You can play the game completely solo and you can have these companions help you. But these two are super hard to defeat.
Away with you.
I don't even want to show you how hard they are to defeat. You'll see, especially on expert difficulty, which is the difficulty I'm playing right now.
You practice martial arts?
You bet.
Ah, the estate of Moon.
Mocking me.
So make sure
my
you also
apologies.
speak with all of the NPCs that seem like you can speak with them. You can also make them your friends and some of the other stuff, but I guess that would be a different subject for a different video if you want. But yeah, these two will be your best friends and they'll help you fight bosses and some other stuff. I defeated quite a lot of bosses with them. Now, let's start small with the character and... oh yeah, before we start... this is the guy from Kung Fu Hustle. The game is also filled with fun stuff and memes. So if you press escape, you'll see your character, click on your character portrait, and this is where you'll see all of your stats, for better or for worse. And over here at details, you will see your martial mastery, which is just like your battle rating, your 5 attributes and your basic attributes, like HP, max ki, physical attack, physical defense, but also precision and critical rate. It's very hard to understand, or affinity rate as well. It's very hard to understand why they had to split them up like this. I just read a little bit about them because this will be very important for you to choose what build you go for, what attributes you have, and some other stuff. You also have the statuses over here, which is kind of like your buffs, but more importantly over here, exploration mastery. So you know when sometimes like the fishing will be too hard or the baiting will be too hard, yeah, you might just need more stats to that particular thing, or music might be too hard. You'll need more attributes. So you will gain attributes by finding stuff or by playing the music. Sadly, this means you'll have to do some of the activities in a certain order. For example, your first debate will seem impossible, but you'll find easier ones along the way. That will increase your stats and that will make them much more easy. They also will give you more interesting things, like for example, increasing like the drawing speed, extra gathering reward in solo mode. So playing alone will give you extra rewards as well. Think about that as well. Or, oh yeah, this one is my favorite. So you know how singing, or I guess playing the instrument is so annoying. this will give you 5% extra on your score. So if your score is 2000, this will give you 100 extra points, which might be enough to pass the music. So yeah, just look at all of this as well. Look at all of those things. Constitution, you'll be having some issues with some of this stuff, so I recommend you go to the clinic to heal those things. I'm not sure how bad they are, but they can be really annoying and they can probably add up very, very badly. As you can see, they used Venom. Healing fell after a while. Yeah, this I have to fix this as well. So make sure you'll keep an eye on the Constitution as well. Honor, you can also just have a quest for self-repair. And atone. I'm not sure what happens if you have a criminal record, but just be careful when you're in a village, you don't destroy too many things and don't cause too many problems. I think you can mostly play as a bad guy, more or less. Also have the improvement guide over here, and the challenges and some of... just a lot of stuff that you'll have to look at, but you'll understand better what your character's stats is and how you can improve the character. Now, let's go over here to the first thingy. I recommend you look at the sects as well, and some of the other stuff over here, and some reputation. Also have a max reputation you can get and some of the other stuff, but basically clicking on something will give you access to menus and some other quests. Elegance points, popularity, and like. This will also be for the titles and some other stuff, but more importantly, let's go over here. You will have 2 weapons that you can select. It doesn't matter what your second weapon is. Just pick your favorite weapon. All weapons are good. If you like the big sword with the thingy, with the long handle, just pick that. If you like the dual swords, pick that. If you like the fan or the umbrella, pick that as well. But more importantly, know that you can upgrade them. And you have a certain limit to your upgrades as well. And this is where some people will say, no, this is annoying, I'll not play this. And completely understand that. You will have a certain max cap for the level. That will be dependent on how much you played and what is the current day. So you cannot really play too much to the point where you will unlock everything in a single day, but permission to claim double energy word is unlocked. But more importantly is that everything you get will be stored for later, even experience and some of the other stuff. So, breakthrough. Combat. I guess I shouldn't really do this right now. So, press the little dory over here to escape and then you can go back to the main menu. This is how you can keep increasing your level after a certain amount of time, because you think you can only have a level 10 or level 20. I'm not sure how it is for individual characters, if this is applied to them or if it's per server or what the deal is. There's not really a lot of information about that, but this is something you'll need to do at some point, and just know that it will be a very important thing to do. And sometimes it will say it will only unlock in 1 day or it will unlock in 2 days and stuff like that. Very important to understand that. Also, you'll have another cap in the form of challenge energy, which you can use to do these activities. I'll not speak too much about them, but these are the main ways to earn some rewards, not all of them, some of them. And you can also replenish them with some of the rewards from the battle pass, so it's not such a big deal, more or less. Also, you will have some crafting energy. To craft, you have to go in a village. Just go to the crafting area over here. I guess I can show you. Since we spoke about the companions and some of the other stuff over there. This is also where I crafted the symbols. So you have some stamina, and you can either make the things you want or need or just buy them. So don't worry too much about it. Crafting medicine, crafting some other stuff. Or you can just buy them from the general stores. Weapons as well. I guess you need to do those trials. You can also see where you obtain them. Hunt a turtle, gather a clam. Tier level, but they are kind of low level, so this will be something for later. Arrows over here, but again, you'll be spending your hard-earned stamina. So I'm not sure about that, but just craft whatever you need and then you'll see later. Open the tables. I forgot which one is the one that... Oh yeah, over here, signpost, miscellaneous. You only need rocks and timber to do it. Which is kind of decent, I guess. It's not very hard to do. Those are kind of like the caps. I'm not sure if there are the caps, but it doesn't really matter because you can... Whenever you run out of energy for a certain activity, you can just explore and do some quests, do the main campaign, do some other stuff. The map is huge, and also the game will unlock more quests as you're playing. So, you see this area over here? This area still has some stuff for me to do, even though it's the first area. You also will want 100% every zone, plus you'll get some plants, some trees, and some other stuff as you are going back to those areas anyway. Okay. So, you can go for the breakthrough and then upgrade your martial arts. Your martial arts level will mean you deal more damage with all of these skills as you're upgrading your skills. Pretty self-explanatory. So make sure you do all of this as well. Inner way is just some big buffs that you can obtain by doing some other quests or finding manuals to do this. For example, this seems like it's kind of small, but you also have bigger ones that will improve some of your other abilities, and this is where the game gets kind of interesting. And just go and look at them a little bit. You'll see the manual, you'll see how to obtain it. Those are your passives that will be very weak in the beginning, but later they'll be much better. Now, as for this, there's a lot of discussion over here as well. Just copy my design if you want, the short story. All of this can be used in combat as well, except for Tai Chi. Tai Chi doesn't work against bosses, but it can work against normal enemies. So this is just a huge leap, as you can see, but you also jump on enemies and deal some damage, some stagger. It's very good. This will allow you to stun enemies if they don't see you. Otherwise, it's a way of dealing damage in combat as well. But this is a ranged attack, so even in combat it can be very good. This can steal stuff, which is interesting. I haven't played too much with this. It says you can steal even items from NPCs, but you have to hide to do it. In combat against normal enemies, it steals their weapons and throws it back at them. Very cool. This is for bears, for water. That's exactly how you do it. So bigger opponents can be thrown, and that can be very bad for them. Enemies with shields, you also disarm their shield and, yeah, you'll throw the shields at them. Let's say you're fighting two archers and a swordsman, just throw the swordsman away and kill the archers. Very good. This is for sneaking, so you unlock more of that a little later, but kind of get the idea on how to use them. You're also enhancing your slots, so I recommend you just look for all of these materials and use them. You can also just do it like this. Uncut jade. Okay, so you can obtain these items through those locations, or you can just gather the crystals. That's a cool feature that they show you all of this. So make sure you upgrade all of your equipment as well. Average level. Yeah, you get the idea. It's pretty self-explanatory. The talents over here are also a very big part of the game, so I'll not bore you with the details. Just know that this is where you can get more critical rate, more affinity rate, more of the other stuff, some more interesting skills, but the further you go down the line, the better the buffs become, so it might be better to just keep this for later. Or, for example, let me show you this. I think this will explain it a little better. You can just get a lot more defense or a lot more health. This is actually going to help you a lot because it can be, let's say, 20% extra health if you go for the full bonuses. Mystic slots, you can also get more slots, more attacks. So maybe just either go full crit or whatever. Full crit and then just get some of the stats as well because it will be very important. This is just for the arena. This is just for the bosses. Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I guess you just have to look at this as well. Just look at all of these. These are the titles. Not sure if it's important or not what titles you have. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so this is basically how you look at your character and the other stuff. Now, let's go over the more annoying things, like the map. The map can be used to show you all of the stuff you need or you might need for later. The sex and some of the other stuff. But more importantly, I recommend you look at stuff like this, like the old friends. I guess all of the old friends are marked on the map. And over here you can also get more quests, to get more rewards, to get more stuff. Don't worry, I'll show you how to use all of the currencies and all of the other stuff as well. What is this? Oh, you can get an interesting looking bird. Yeah, just don't bother too much about that. Let's go into the inventory because this will be where everything ties together very, very nicely. This is your gear, not much to say about this. You can recycle your gear to get a little bit of extra money. Doesn't seem to matter too much. Yeah, lose the selection, whatever. And as you can see, the items have a little symbol, so that's, you see that snowflake symbol, that means it's part of the same set. Pretty self-explanatory, and this is where things get a little tricky. This is the cricket and the other stuff I have, all of the crafting materials. Also, you'll have some chests over here, and you'll have to select what manual to unlock for the inner way. And it's a little bit annoying. Just don't think too much about that. Open them and then you'll see what they do. Also, if you're gathering, let's say, the Mew Mew bells and you don't know where to use them, click on them and it will show you. Don't know where this is used, click on it and it will show you. Click on them as well. You also have a lot of gifts because at some point we'll be able to gift them to our friends. You can buy them from a shop which has a different currency. I don't know, it's a little bit weird. Let's look at what everything does. This is the pills that will give you energy. This is how you place down the thingies. You can even add pictures and some other stuff. Already shown you how to get them. Very, very cool. These are all quest items. And now we'll get to the interesting part, which is this thing over here, the quest items. So if you don't know what quest you have, or if you just see the quest item over here, you can just press J and it will show you all of your quests. I guess you can also go through here. It's actually a very, very important part because it will show you ongoing quests that you haven't even started in a way. Like reach level 13 and go to this place over here. Super important to look at all of this. You also have the quest in progress, so this will show you whatever you are doing. So you know what to do and you know what rewards you'll get. And again, doesn't get into details because you'll be stuck here forever. This is the main story, which is super, super hard. Just recommend you stop doing the quest if you cannot defeat the enemy and just progress a little further. I guess I did all of this stuff. Oh, I'm pretty far away in some of the things. Yeah, just look at all of those things. You can also look in the compendium to get a lot of extra rewards. So let's go back over here because this is pretty important. The currencies. Well, I guess that's the normal money. More importantly, let me show you what you do with the little fishes, the jade fishes that you use for a lot of other stuff. So you don't really have to farm too much into the game because you might thinking, well, I need to farm every penny. More or less. You can just buy with fishes, for example, crafting supplies like this, which is a huge help. Also, this is how you get more commerce coins, in case you're wondering, if you want to buy. I need 20,000 to reach that to buy that. That's interesting as well. Okay, let's not worry too much about the stamina. Also, this is how you unlock the gear stuff. So when I do my breakthrough point off camera, I'll probably buy a few gear chests so I can have some better gear. But as you can see, the gear you can buy is always one step behind. So I think you might get some better gear if you just go for the breakthrough point. Let me check so we can clearly see. No, you don't get gear for that. This is kind of interesting. So I thought you get items whenever you did a breakthrough point, but I might have gotten my items from a different location. Interesting. So yeah, we'll probably buy some gear chests. If we'll not get gear for our current level after we go, let's say, to level 35 or something like that on the breakpoint. I'm not sure what the difference is, I guess. Oh yeah, you can only buy 10, or I don't understand how this works. I guess you have to spend a lot of fish to do that. Professional development and some of the other stuff. Very important, the fishes are very important. This is from the guild. I recommend you make a guild or you join a guild as well, because it will give you other rewards that you'll probably not have a way of obtaining. So you can just send guild invitations on nearby or recruitment. Broadcasting is a little harder, just with your friends. It also will just give you a lot of bonuses as well, so there's no reason not to join one or not to make one. I guess I'm earning guild experience for myself. Okay, and yeah, the Echo Jade. Echo Jade is also pretty important. Those solemn echoes. I'm not sure if you can get some interesting stuff from this or not. Let's just say you get 5 jaws. Yin Yang Ointment. Medicine. Okay, let's just leave it like that, because it's... Yeah, you just look at the item, what it does, and then you'll understand more. There are probably 10 more menus that I haven't shown you, and it's way too much. It's like I said, you can use it to buy commodity stuff, but you... Anyway, let's not speak about that anymore, because we have done that already. And I think that's about it for all of the tips and tricks and basic guides. It's a lot to take in, it's a lot to do. But just select, let's say, a certain pathway, and then maybe another one if you don't like your main weapon or stuff like that. Don't join a sect until you understand the system better. Join a guild if you want. If you are a little bored, just remember that you have over here the wandering path where you can do some co-op, arena, challenges, stuff as well. Casual co-op. First clear reward. This will be very interesting. What is leisure as well? I've seen some people doing some weird stuff. Okay, this will be very interesting to do. Adventure slips. And you also get this by having messages drop down. And use it in the Wandering Path shop. I guess you can get a lot of very, very cool cosmetics. Yeah, I think the game is in a pretty good state right now, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it, because it's much better than any open world RPG I've played lately. The world really feels alive, the quests are actually pretty engaging, the activities can be a bit boring, but as you see, you have so many of them, and there's such a big variety of them that you'll never really get bored. For example, the healing, the other stuff. Probably... Yeah, so after I end the video, let me see what I'll do, because I want to show you as well. I'll probably go to unlock the Scholar profession. Which is over there. And I'll also do the breakthrough point, because it's very interesting. Also press Control to unlock the mouse, so you can click on this on your own. Inner way chest, pretty important. There are so many quests all over the place that you'll get rewards without even knowing. Oh yeah, you also have this thingy, a warrior's journey. Claim all of them. Yeah, every time you look at a menu you'll get rewards. It's kind of funny. Okay, that's kind of like everything I wanted to talk about. Probably will need more advice, but basically just play the game in advance as much as you can and just do a lot of activities pretty fast, otherwise you'll just fall behind and that will not be fun. I'll probably struggle a little bit to do the breakthrough point, but it's still in good fun and the game is looking pretty well, except for the performance problems. Bye bye.